Well, 2020 season looks to be a bit of a roller coaster as we kind of start to kick back things into gear in the launch to round 2. Never thought I'd be saying we'd be seeing round 2 in June in a season of football, but here we are midway through this pandemic of the coronavirus, and it looks like that we are finally going to be able to, re-kickstart the season, beginning with round 2. The season was cancelled halfway through round 1. We learned that we wouldn't be having any more football played until at least the end of May, which is actually really cool because it was only pushed back a further 2 weeks from when the AFL originally thought that we'd be coming back into it. Geez, it's going to be looking good. We don't exactly know how football is going to be looking at the moment. We don't know whether it's still going to be on reduced minutes like round 1 was, or whether it's going to be 20-minute quarters, whether it's going to be an extended interchange bench. We do know that we've only got 4 rounds of fixture given to us at the moment. We've only got the 4 rounds, essentially, for those that do not know, because WA and South Australia both still have their interstate travel restrictions in place, so that if you're coming into WA or into South Australia, you have to serve 2 weeks of isolation. It's mandatory, and there's no exemptions for footy players. So both states' teams, being West Coast, Fremantle, Adelaide, and Port Adelaide, will be stationed in the Gold Coast, playing, I think, 3 away games and 1 home game up there on the Gold Coast. Basically, what that allows us to do is give another 4 weeks for the WA and SA borders to be able to open up. If that is going to happen, then we can have a fixture that actually is a true normal fixture in the sense of what 2020 would be like, as opposed to a hub station in the Gold Coast for those 2 interstate state teams. Now, obviously, it gives the AFL a bit of leeway to then plan, if those 2 states have not opened up their restrictions by then, that they can plan another month ahead for those 2 states' teams to be able to still be stationed up at the Gold Coast, if that be the case. I wanted to quickly touch base with a lot of comments going around that, 2020 should just be cancelled. It's a compromised season. It's just not worth playing. I'm not really sure I agree with the sentiment behind those comments. The comments themselves are technically true, but the sentiment behind them is not. You got to remember that, the VFL as it was back then, we went through World War I, we went through World War II with reduced amount of teams in the competition. Some teams weren't even able to play. We still got through. The competition hasn't stopped for wars. I don't see why it should stop for, a pandemic. As long as it's safe, that is the main key. As long as it's safe to be able to keep playing, then there is really no reason that we shouldn't be playing. Compromised season or not, the AFL still needs to generate some revenue, and obviously if they don't generate any games, they lose a lot of money through the TV deals and stuff to be able to keep them afloat. I don't think they would go under with no football in an entire year, but the future of football would be really unknown. It's unknown now what the future of football is going to be. It's a very, very real chance that some clubs, some of the poorer Vic clubs in particular, may go bust. We just don't know what's going to happen with football outside of the year 2020. So let's get through 2020. Hopefully we don't have to shut the league down again, because who knows, there probably will be a second run of this virus go through the nation, which may restrict things and close things down and put a stall on things again. It may not. Who knows what's going to happen? But while we have the opportunity to bring football back, I'm all for it. Got some interesting things in the pipelines for everyone. I say that all the time, but I do actually have things ready to go for when the season launches again. It's 2 weeks. We are going to be doing the watch parties on Thursday nights again. Hope to see you with us. There is going to be a slight change to how that is run if I can get away with it. But that's kind of up to the AFL to let me get away with it or not. We'll see. But we got some interesting things in the back works ready to go for when the season launches, and I'm hoping that it launches without any hiccups, and whoever wins the season of 2020 is Some people will say there's an asterisk next to it, but I tell you what, it's going to be one hell of a year for whatever team does win the premiership this year, because the team wins cash and stuff like that, and it's just going to be very, very needed towards every single club. Every single club is hurting, regardless of whether it's a rich club or a poorer club, or the fans are hurting through the loss of football. It's the magical thing about sport. It brings people together, even if it's to hate your opponent. But I will be keeping everyone here updated in the lead up to footy. What's going to be changing with the game? Are we going to be seeing games that were like round one in shortened quarters? Are we going to be having extended benches? We've already got a reduction in coaching staff. It's going to be very interesting how the rest of the year plays out, and I will update everyone on what is happening if you're not keeping up to date with what is happening in the AFL universe, but you do follow the channel. I will be releasing updates on just what's going to be happening in the lead up to round two, if there's going to be any changes, what those changes are, and how they may or may not impact the play and the game and everything like that as well. So just wanted to give a quick update. Yes, we are still around. Yes, footy is back on the cards for 2020. And we will be here for it. Thanks for tuning in. That's about all I got for you. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.